Hi guys, in this video we are going to see how to create and deploy a chatbot application using the OpenAI API, and we are going to, after creating the chatbot, we are going to pull it into the Docker and deploy it in the cloud. And in this we are going to cover some tech stacks which we are using are like backend, which we use the Python code. And in the front end, we are going to use the HTML, CSS, and the JavaScript. And we are going to do the API integration with the OpenAI API. Now, I'm using here, especially the Gemini, and we are going to get the key for the Gemini. And we are going to the containerize using the Docker. And finally, we will be deploying in the render. And final, we will get the output in the chatbot. If you type a message, you will get a response, and you can maintain the history of the conversations, and when you run inside the Docker container, and we'll be deploying it in the cloud. So now let's dive into the first step of how to create a chatbot with the integrating of open APIs. Now we will see how to create a API key. For that, we will use the Gemini. So let's go into this particular website, ai.google.dev, or you can just go into the Google AI Studios. You can search in that. When you open this, you can use this for the API. So it opens and you need to log in with your Gmail. So for you, I'm using another account to get the API key. So once you log in here, get an API key, which is very important to create an chat. Without this key, you can't get the outputs. So this is the key, which is very secured, and we should not share them anyone. So let's copy it and let's let us paste it aside. Okay. So now our next step is to run the backend development. So let's open the command. Yeah. So here we need to install some libraries to run it. So pip install Flask. So it's started downloading. Okay, it shows that we have an upgraded version of pip Python. So copy that. Yeah, successfully we have upgraded the pip. So again, we need to install pip install Flask. Let's check it again. Yeah, so it says that the requirements are fulfilled, and now we need to install, sorry, pip install google hyphen generative AI. So we are going to install this. This Google generative AI. This is the platform where we have taken the key API, which is used to create the chatbot and run the uh, interactions between the chatbot and you. So we need to install the virtual environment over there, and even we need to create a new virtual environment. So next we will be installing that. So now let's install this virtual environment pip, and we have some other codes to be installed. We will see them. Yeah, so successfully we have implemented the backend development, installing the dependencies. Now let's make the front end codes and the back end codes, HTML codes and everything. So let's see how to create those. So to create, I'm using the Jupyter. So let's install Jupyter pip install Jupyter notebook. I'm sorry. Yeah, yeah, it's a typo. So in Jupyter, you can use the Python terminal version. It's up to you. I feel Jupyter is good. Like I'm more into Jupyter than the VSS Code. You can use the Virtual Studio also, where you can generate the codes and you can create and execute that. Mm, so once it is installed, we can directly go to the which will open the Jupyter, and we can start making that codes. Yeah, well, we have successfully installed Jupyter. Let's open the Jupyter notebook now. Jupyter notebook. So this is how your Jupyter environment looks. So here you can see your data sets and everything. Before that, we need to create a folder. Let's create it on the. So here we have created on a desktop an empty folder saying that it's my ChatGPT. So now let's open the virtual code here. In the desktop, you can see my ChatGPT. So now we are going to first create a front end code which shows you the like the present you are seeing the screen, and this is what a front end code represents. Like when you give something, it shows the display how it should look and what are the steps to be done, and we will see in that. So now let's create a new folder in this saying templates. Okay, so under the templates we're gonna create a new file saying index.html. Okay, so let's open it with the HTML editor. Yeah, now here we are going to type the code for the uh, front end. So I have already generated index.html codes, which are almost like literally 78 or 80 lines of code. So I'm just co-option each codes. It's 76. So here we describe the language, names, and viewports, what contents to be written, how much weight it to be, like what is the heading, how the search bar should be there, and search bars, search containers. And like if we divide them into the classes like chat with the messenger, like we if we give a prompt like saying describe me about particular task or anything, the bot will be replying back, and the inputs and the outputs. So uh, we have created the index.html. So app.py, and it's in a Python code, and I have here we are saving it as app.py, which is used for the um, backend development, where it describes each and every step, how to execute, and if you give a particular prompt, how it should give the output, and each and everything, the whatever the back process. To be honest, it's like back process behind the walls, how it runs, and everything should be given here. Then only you can successfully implement the chatbot. So for that, I have the uh, codes which I'm going to uh, pen at the description even, and I'm going to paste it here because it's long. So now I'm pasting all the every code here. So I have made the backend code where we have already downloaded some libraries called Flask or request sessions, and we're creating some environment, and we have mainly created the Google generative AI and the module. And so here we have this API key which we have taken earlier. So we're going to copy that. So here we have created our API key and we have pasted here. When this key is there, you can get the outputs, or else it will be like no response. You can create the actually we have the front end code, so it shows only the display, but you cannot execute any codes over there or any prompts which you give. So the key is very important. And later we have it's a secret key, and we have given like user inputs and debugging the prompts which we have given. If there is no response, then it goes to the next and everything. So we are saving this. So now again, let's go back to my chat GPT. Now we need to design a chat GPT. We need to style it the way it looks, the colors, design, or if you want to give the font size, the distance between the words. Like if you want to put some, like if a ChatGPT usually has, everyone knows ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, and everything. They have this insert button, send button, and the toolbar, search bars, upload symbols, and everything. So in order to create everything, we need to create some other folder for that. For that we are creating it as a static. Under this we are going to create a new file called we are creating this as style.css. So it's I'm just giving you a prompt like these are CSS codes. So I'm going to paste the code for that, because I have especially set for like couple of 30 to 40 minutes to design each and everything. Check whether the prompt is good, if I want to change the font, if I want to change the word count or anything. So I've literally set a long time spending on that. So I'm going to paste it. Yeah, if you can see the font family is Arial or the sans serif and the background color, and this is a particular code which gives you particular colors, blue or red or depends, and the center, margins, paddings, and chat containers. Chat containers are nothing but the what do you say, that search bars or anything, colors, search containers. We have everything. The background colors, chatbot colors, chat messages, and user colors or user margins. Everything, each and everything will be giving you in button. We have given the input button or search results, everything. So we are going to, yeah, it's saved. So, um, okay. And the statics, it's style.css. So we have successfully created the front end codes, the back end codes, and the style CSS codes. So now our next step is to open the environment in the command prompt and implement the codes. So let's get into it. So now go back to the command prompt. So we have opened this. So let's open a new tab. Here we're going to create again everything. Also, already we have installed the library, so no need to reinstall again. Even though if you install it, it shows that the requirements are satisfied. So no issues. So first, I want to share my data set, and we need to show that where our data set is, so that we are saying that cd. And just a moment, let me copy this. And one more thing, this is where like all the front end codes and the back end codes, everything, see here, static, templates, app.py, every codes was saved here. So we are going to right click, copy as path. So now let's go to the command, and we are pasting it here, and we'll be like pushing enter. Now we are going to create an environment which we have already created. Python minus m when it's a personalized environment, which helps us to move into a separate field old, in order to say that it's old, where you can see, where you can generate, where you can run the codes. Yeah, so now we are done. So our next step is to, when slash scripts, uh, just a moment, slash active dot bat. Oh, just a moment. The when could not be loaded. Okay. Oh, let me look into this. So now let's see whether the virtual environment is created or not. Not. For that, we have this code called ls space when is our environment name. Yeah, it shows everything. So we have created the environment. So now let's look again into what's the issue is. I think we have given the wrong point. When slash scripts slash activate. Okay, it shows. Just a moment. Let me look into it again. It shows that the when could not be loaded. For more information, than input module one. Okay, yeah, yep. Successfully. We need to mention the dot here. Successfully we have created our environment. We have entered into our environment which we want, um, where we can create the codes, or where we can activate the codes. Now let's again load our data set, which we want it to be implemented in it. Copy as path. Yep, enter. Yeah, so we have put our data set where we have created the backend, front end, and the style codes. So we have put it into our environment. Now let's type python app.py Okay, the execution count null. So we need to go into the studio appy and choose we have an error. Yep, this actually it's to be none. So we have changed there from Python or from null to none, and now we will execute the same prompt. Yeah, we need to install some more libraries. And let's pip install Google, and it says we don't have this again. Pip install, because these codes we have imported in the front end and the back end, so we need to generate them. So yeah, let us upgrade this. Yeah, so now let's check again. So cd space, I want to just again just upload my data sets. Okay, so python app.py. Yeah, so successfully we are in a development server where we can open the chatbot, we can access it. So here we have this IP address where you can, when you copy this and open in the web page, you can say this. So okay, so it shows the template is not found and we have some others in the index. So yeah, the enter template. Yeah, so just wait, let us open the index.html. So we are having here an error. Let's do one thing, we just delete this and I want to re-upload it again. So because when it should be like temp aids and the words and everything should be more specific here. Just a moment, let me create a new folder, templates, and under this we're going to create a new file called index.html, and we are going to open it with the editor. Okay, yeah, I did this, so let's check it. Statics templates. Under templates we have that. Under statics we have style. Under templates we have index. Okay, so let's again go to the command prompt and control C to exit from this one. Debug pin, it's inactivate. Let's see what happens now. So now let's check. Oh, it shows some error. Okay, again. So I think, oh, let's restart the Flask because of the cache. Sometime it might fail. So Flask run. If you put this, oh, now if we can check now, yeah. So successfully we have created my chat GPT, where if you give a prompt like, suppose say, hello GPT, and say, hello, how can I help you today, and like um we can ask anything like, how's your day. As a large loan, I do not experience days in the same way of humans do. I do have a feeling so personal, and it talks realistic, and that's how the codes have been prompted. And and if you want some real like business examples or real case examples, suppose if you're a fitness freak or anything, like if you want some meal planner or if you want to go for the travel scheduler or something, you can even ask that. Okay, let me show you one example regarding that. Mm, Okay, now let's ask like, I am a fitness freak. I want a diet diet plan with bigger diet plan. So give me in points. Yep. So because we're using the Gemini, and which is a free, and if we go with the Chat GPT Open AI, we need to take the premium version where like you need to spend around $5 or $10 to get some access for the codes. So rather than that, so that's why I have gone to the Gemini, where it's not like you can't spend it or not. Like, I want to give a try because everyone will be trying with the Chat GPT, so I want to go with the Gemini. So Google. So here, if you can see it, okay, here is a diet plan tailored for the fitness enthusiasts. Remember to consult the dietitian or the sport nutrition, which for the personal advice, and it gives how much amount you need to take and the whole food and everything. You can see here the if the 75 kg post from 120 to 165 protein, and it was showing you everything whatever you need, and even like you can upload something if you need. You can search the histories here. So this is what I have created so far, and now let's see. So till now we have just started with the API keys, and later we have created the backend and front end codes and the desired styles, the blue colors and fonts, shapes, and everything with the static CSS codes. And later we have created the chat GPT chatbot. So now let's uh, containerize this chat GPT in the Docker, and let's see how the Docker works in containerizing, and later we just deploy it. Yeah. In order to start with the Docker, first we need to create some folders again in the same data set. So now again let's go to here. So here again you need to create a new file called saying Docker file. When you open this, here we just enter some codes which says, so yeah, here are the codes. Like step one, we will be making an official runtime to generate an image, and we are using the Python 3.9 Slim, and later we will be working in the directory for the container, so we are using the workdi app, and later we have the requirements, which the next step is to create a requirements text file, and we need to what are the requirements to create a container, like um email, AI, Open AI, Gemini, and Flask, everything. We just put some modules in the requirements, and later we will install the requirements, and we will copy that into the container, and we use this port 5600 to expose it to containerize them, so that when you run the containers, oh, it will open up the new web page where you can check again. So we will be saving this, and now let's go back here, and now it's our time to create um a new file, requirements.txt. and here we are going to write some require. So we have this requirement flask equals to, and we are using the version 2.1.1, and we are using the another requirement is works yug. V-R-V-E-R-K-Z-E-U-G work, which is equals to 2.1.0, which it ensures the compatibility with the Flask, whether the Flask is compatible or not. So we are using that in 0. And the third one is the Google, the main thing, which is very important to generate that generative AI 0.8.4, and it's a valid version which we are using right now. So we are going to save this. Yeah, it's saved. So again here finally we are having a Docker file, requirements text, app.vir1 templates and statics. So now let's open the Docker. So I've just installed the Docker to make sure that many people don't know how to use Docker. So I want to just I have already have my access with the Dockers, so I'll just log in with my account. Expected. Yeah. So yeah, we just skip this survey and other stuff. So this is what a Docker is, where you can find the containers here and the images. First, we will be creating an image, and later the image will be containerized into containers. And we have the volumes, and it shows we're going to build. So this is all about the Docker, and now let's go to the command again. And so we need, when we open the Docker, we have like few steps which are like common. So first one is Docker login minus u, and it's your username. When you create an account, you will have the username and the passwords, and the password, when you type the password you can't see it. Yeah, login successful. So I'm successfully logged into the Docker. So next, our step is to create an image. For that, we will be using this code. Now we are going to build the Docker. So Docker build hyphen t, the Flask minus chatbot space dot. So we have successfully started building the Docker and image. So it we have all the libraries installed at the early stage, and we have all the requirements which we have given earlier, and we have also created a Docker file with each steps to be done. So it collects all the data from that and creates an image. So let's wait till this was installed. Yeah, so successfully we have installed the Docker so far. Build we have build and Docker. Our next step is to run the Docker. To run the Docker, we have another code called um, Docker run p, and we have already given the container value 5600 port and colon 5600 flask of chatbot. Yeah, and it started generating like the backend codes. So the same thing happens here. Like when you click it here. Oh, again, it's just a moment. If so, we have successfully created built and Docker and we have run it. Uh, Not here. Let me show you in the containers. Yeah. So here is the image which we have created. It's in the use, and here is this. So when you click on this, you're going to. Oh, okay, fine. Oh, just a moment. Let me check it. The same thing. It's because of the cache issues like I have been facing since the morning. The same step, the same mistake is happening again, and I found this solution, uh, so-called creating a flask run, which helps in deleting the cache because I've I have to know what's happening at all. So now if you click this, you have the containerized chat GPT. Yep. So we have successfully done this. So now we have created the Docker and you can see it here. It's in the containers and excited studios and it's in the port values, local host and images flask chat box. And, and it's in the use. And even if you go here, you can see all the packages, the images and everything. So now let's see how to deploy this container and let's see how the deployment happens in the render. So now let's see how to push the image into the Docker Hub. And now it's in the containers. So now let's push the image into the Docker Hub. And from the Docker Hub, we will try to deploy it into the GitHub. So for that, let me open a new command. So I'm going to log in again. Um, the Docker login on the few. Yep. So I have successfully logged into my Docker. So our next step is to push the image into the hub. Now, before one more point, before pulling the Docker image into the Docker hub, we need to tag that Docker image. I mean, like we need to mention this particular Docker image is in my containers or in my Docker. So for that, we need to use Docker tag flask chatbot, and our name is the chatbot in the images, and I need to mention my username because it's in this particular it's we are pushing to the hub from this user chatbot slash flask chatbot colon latest. Yeah, we have pushed it. So now let's push the Docker image to the Docker hub. So again, Docker push same from my username to flask chatbot latest. Yeah, the push refers to the repository and it shows that all the images which we have only one image to be honest. So that image is being first we will be tagging that. I mean like we will be showing the location and everything and it is pushing into the hub. Yeah, pushed and mounted from the libraries. Yep. So successfully we have pushed the Docker image into our Docker Hub account, and it shows the size of that a particular chatbot is 1996. So now let's see how this from the Docker Hub to push it into the render deploy. Yeah, now let's see how to deploy this. For that, we need to create an account in the render because we're using this render platform. So now let's go here. Yeah, render cloud application platform. So this is the first time I'm using the render. I have never been into the render, so I need to create an account for that. So get started. So it's new to me, and let me go according to that. Yeah, let me create an account. Okay, fine. If you guys have GitHub or GitLab, I hope I have a GitHub, but I'm not using that right now. If you have the GitHub, you can directly log in with that. I think that would be the best. Oh shit. Yep. Oh, just a moment. Check my phone. Yep. So I have verified my mail, and this is the uh, render workspace. So let's click on the new because we are for the first time. So we need to, after logging, we need to click on the new button on your dashboard so we can see the web service because we are deploying it in the web. I think connect to the, let's see, connect to a Git or like source code. Do you have anything else here? Oh, I think public Git repositories. Existing image. Okay, yeah. If we go to the existing image, we have this deploy an image from the Docker registry, so we can deploy our code here. So, so here we need to enter our image name, which we have already given there, and it's like our name, Flask chatbot latest. Our name Ragnar 21 Flask chatbot and the latest. Oh, yeah, it's there. So wait, let's connect it now. So it says Flask chatbot latest optional, and we need to configure now variables on the render for the sensitive data. Sensitive data is like our API key. Um, so um, now, so after deploying, we can see here free for hobby projects, free instance pins down. Okay. So here it shows that environment variables set an environment specific configuration such as key and read those values. Okay, so name of the variable we're gonna keep this. We're gonna copy this and paste it here. Then when a variable must contain, let's not start with the visit. Okay, Flask chatbot, or else we can okay, my chatbot. Okay, so I think we can keep this a key like you have the API keys which you have. um, so if you need, you can directly just go here and you have in your API if you want to check your key, which these keys are very secret. So you can use that if you need, and later you can even add your secret files like if you need, you can add this API key file. Come on. Okay, API key and the file contains of. Okay, save and deploy web service. Okay, your free instance will spin down within the activity and can be deployed. Or live tail or manual deploy. Or like what is this connect? Let me. Okay, it's in the progress. I think we can copy this. Oh, I just want to copy this on a safer note. Yeah. So I think our the flashback latest is deployed successfully. So here is the link. You can copy that, and when you paste it, you can check it. I hope you have some idea because I'm not an expert. I have tried my level best to just teach and everything, but I have faced some issues at the back end or in the templates or index.html file where I think it's I have tried from the morning, but there is some issue with the caches and I have cleared it. I'm doing it again, and but I couldn't do it properly. But these are the steps to be followed to create a chatbot. Um, and how to deploy it. I hope you like this. Um, I hope you understand. If you have anything, please comment down and let's discuss that. And I'm going to paste the links over there. If you need, just use them. And it's my API code is free. If anyone wants, you can use it because it's not a premium version. If it's a premium, I couldn't open it out. Yeah. Thank you. I hope you liked it. Bye.